in financing the real economy, but we know that this must be built on solid risk-managed foundations. In this sense, the book supports the business philosophy we are developing at Natixis. We believe that long-term success comes to institutions and economies that can deliver growth while managing downside risks through both improved risk management and the careful selection of fundamental business models. Laurent Mignon, Chief Executive Officer of Natixis, September 13, 2013. Forward. I think that the concept of the Crowey, Galai, and Mark book, The Essentials of Risk Management, 2nd edition, is brilliant. In my career as an academic and in investment management, I found that there is too large a separation between the technocrats who build risk management models and systems and those who should be using them. In addition, the model builders seem to me to be too far from economics, understanding what risk management can and cannot do, and how to structure the risk management problem. Crowey, Galai, and Mark bridge that gap. They bring the academic research together with applications and implementation. If risk management model builders come to appreciate the economics underlying the models, they would be better prepared to build risk management tools that have real value for banks and other entities. And, as the authors bring up time and again, board members of corporations must also become as familiar with the models and their underlying economics to ask the correct follow-up questions. Risk management is often described as being an independent activity of the firm, different from generating returns. Most macro and micro models in economics start from a framework of certainty and add an error term, a risk term, to represent uncertainty. When describing predicted actions that arise from these models, the error or uncertainty term disappears because the modelers assume that it's best to take expectations as their best guess as to future outcomes. In both cases, however, this is incorrect. Risk management is part of an optimization program, the trade-offs between risk and return. As described in the book, the 3 tools of risk management are A. Reserves, B. Diversification, and C. Insurance. With greater reserves against adverse outcomes, the risk of the firm or the bank is reduced. Greater reserves, however, imply lower returns, and the dynamics of the reserve need to be known. For example, if a bank needs capital or liquidity reserves to shield it against shock, is the reserve static, or can it be used, and how is it to be used at time of shock? If it is a reserve that must always be at a static level, it is not a reserve at all. These are important optimization and planning questions under uncertainty. With more diversification, the bank reduces idiosyncratic risks and retains systematic risks, which it might also transfer to the market. Diversification has benefits, but if a bank earns profits because its clients want particular services, such as mortgages, it might want to concentrate and make money by taking on additional idiosyncratic risk, for it is not possible to diversify away all risks and still earn abnormal profits. The bank must respond to its clients' demands, and as a result, take on idiosyncratic risks. The same is true of insurance. Unlike car insurance, wherein, say, the value of the car is knowable over the year and the amount of the insurance is easy to ascertain, as the book describes, the bank might not know how much insurance is necessary and when it might need the insurance. Nor does it know the dynamics of the insurance plan as prices change in the market. That is why risk management is integrated into an optimization system where there always are trade-offs between risk and return. To ignore risk considerations is inappropriate. To concentrate on risk is inappropriate. The boards of banks or corporations are responsible to understand and challenge the optimization problem. Likewise, modelers must also understand the economic trade-offs. Prior to the financial crisis of 2008, many banks organized their risk management activities in line and not circle form. That is, the risk department was separate and below the production department. The risk management systems of the future must be designed such that the optimization problem is the center focus. This involves deciding on the level of capital employed, not only for working capital or